These are my cute little buns. Feel like CLC. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Mary Nerdhurt, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my BTS Wings Tour experience in Newark, New Jersey. And let me tell you, it was amazing! Now, I've actually never been to New York City. If you didn't know, Newark is actually like 20 minutes away from New York City, because I didn't know that. Anyway, my trip started off with me taking a 4 a.m. flight from Florida. Isn't that like the opposite side of the country? Yes. Yes, it is. Actually, I had to take a flight from Florida to Newark because my flight left around 7 a.m. So I had to be at the airport at like 5 a.m. You know, everything seemed good. I was on the plane. I was rolling through my K-pop memes in the morning until I made a very terrible decision. So to paint a picture for you, it was me on the window seat and then an empty seat and then one guy right here. While on this 3-hour flight, it gets to probably about the 1 hour mark where I think it is a good time to eat some food. Erin, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with food? What's having food? Because Erin is very messy when she gets on planes or eats anything in general. So the guy is coming down the aisle of the plane and he's distributing snacks to everybody, and since it was like a 3-hour flight, you could buy like these awesome like big snack boxes that had all these different foods in them. And I was like, why not? I'm on a plane. Might as well treat myself a little bit. I'm on vacation. And also decided to get, you know, a little thing of red wine. Cause why not? And you know, I felt so bougie being on that plane, drinking some red wine, having a fancy snack box. But while I was eating my almonds that came in this snack package, I accidentally spilled my red wine all over myself. Yeah, luckily there was nobody sitting next to me, and the guy at the end of the aisle was actually asleep along with the rest of his family. So nobody actually saw this incident, but I did have to sit there for 2 hours with red wine soaked pants. You know, it'd be too much work to go up into the overhead, get my pants, go to the bathroom, have a red stained blotch, and then come out with different pants. No, I just wanted to sit there in my shame.
Shame.
This happens a lot, actually. But yeah, weekend is off to a great start. But when I landed at the airport, I actually only had to wait about 30 minutes for my friend Kelsey. You know Kelsey, right? Never gets old.
Thank you, go. Oh. How do you do it? I don't know. Oh god. Boing, boing. Oh. That was actually pretty cute though. Was it?
But she actually took a separate flight from Kentucky to meet me in New York. So once we got to the hotel, we had to figure out the dreaded train system of New York. Train system and subway system, to be exact. Now, I'm from Kentucky. I've been living in Florida for a bit, so we do not have subways or train stations like at all. So this was a very different experience for us. Here's a tip that I wish I knew before I went to New York. Use Google Maps Transit on your phone to figure out how to get around the transit system, because it'll tell you exactly where you need to go, which subway to take, when to get off. I wish I knew that like the first day and not when we were leaving. But you know, it's all about the learning experience. But once we arrived in New York, we actually walked out from Penn Station and we saw all of the giant buildings in New York. Duh, New York City. Big buildings. But the thing is that if you're from a big city, you may think it's like, oh, every day, like, oh, big buildings, yeah. But to this extent of how big they were and just how crammed together everything was, it was just completely awing for us to see that. So once we got into New York City, our first place that we wanted to visit was Koreatown. Like the K-pop trash that we are. But no, that's not really the reason we went. We went because we wanted to eat Korean food because we were freaking hungry, and also to buy boba tea. Which Kelsey actually found this really cute small boba shop called Smoocho, which was really good, and we went there like pretty much every day because they had really good boba. Now, we actually didn't go to the concert until Friday night, so we had all of Thursday to pretty much just explore New York City and, you know, get a feel for how we wanted to go about our day. We did have a general plan of places that we wanted to visit, but for the most part, we were just kind of rolling with it. So we did end up exploring Koreatown for a little bit. We did look at all the restaurants. We looked at all of the stores that were there. And one place that like really caught my eye was this place that was kind of like an indoor food court called Food Gallery 32. And it just had a bunch of different Korean restaurants inside this small little building. It literally looked like an indoor food court. But what I had my eye on was some dumplings. They had a display out front that had like all the different dumplings that they had, and they had like kimchi dumplings, bacon kimchi dumplings, sweet potato dumplings. I'll get to that later in the video because we actually did sit down and order a lot of dumplings. But we kept on going down, and then we stopped to this bookstore, K-pop. Can you not knock? My roommate's cat just likes to open my door. So then we walked down the street a little bit more and we found this K-pop store slash bookstore slash Tony Moly, which was really cute and adorable, and some of the stuff they had there was just kind of ridiculous.
They have all these little characters that just pop out.
I didn't.
How freaking cute.
And
This kills me. Nail art.
But yeah, they made me smile. Do you want to come up here? Can you not give me your butt? Sorry, she won't leave me alone. Okay, so we're gonna continue on with the video. But after that, we decided that we wanted to visit Central Park. We actually tried to go to the zoo, but it closed like right as soon as we got there. Like the bells were ringing that the doors were closing. So we didn't actually get to go to the zoo, but we did get a like little glimpse of the seals or sea lions. But oh my god, guys, Central Park was so freaking beautiful. I've never seen any kind of landscapes like that. They had just like walking through it, it was very hilly, and then just all of a sudden there would be like these big rocks that would like just jut out of the ground and you would be able to climb them. And that sounds really dumb, but it was cool, alright? I've never seen these big rocks that you could just freely climb. We also ended up stumbling upon the Bethesda, I don't know how to pronounce it, fountain, which wasn't running when we were there, but it was still really pretty to see. Yeah, and then we explored more of Central Park. Kelsey fed a squirrel. Yeah, and then we ended our Thursday by going back to Koreatown for some bingsu. So Thursday, all in all, was amazing and very fun. Friday, on the other hand, was a little more stressful. Apparently 2 subway or train cars kind of slid past one another, which completely broke down the system. So going to and from New York by that was just not happening that day. So we ended up having to take a bus to Newark Penn Station, would not recommend, and then a subway to actually get into New York, which in all took a total of like 3 hours. But we made it into New York City, and then realizing that we did not have enough time probably to explore Chinatown, get back ready for the concert, we just decided to go to Koreatown instead. Which we actually stopped at Food Gallery 32 for more dumplings. We ended up buying 4 different kinds of dumplings, which were, oh my gosh, so good. And taiyaki, which was, oh my gosh, so good. And there was also this nifty little place upstairs that was like a dessert bar, which we got a matcha lava cake, which was masita. Say something though. Girl, this cat. Anyway, but after we satisfied our need for pork dumplings and fish-shaped waffles, we walked down the street to Nature Republic, where I saw something completely ridiculous. Now, I've only heard about these, I've never seen them in person, but outside Nature Republic were these giant life-size cardboard cutouts of all the EXO members. They were advertising for, I guess, something with Nature Republic with these face masks that EXO had part in, but just to see these in person just made me so happy, and it was just so ridiculous. I loved it. But that was actually all the time that we had for Friday until we had to go back to the hotel, get ready for the concert, go to the concert, which was at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and then yeah, go to the concert. Now note, the audio here is absolutely terrible because it is recorded on a phone. All concerts recorded on a phone are just gonna be god-awful auditorily. But actually I'm just gonna leave it in because I want to know kind of what it sounded like and try to remember that. Now, surprisingly enough, my favorite performance was actually Hoseok's performance when he performed his solo song Mama, which I do really like that song. It's not my favorite on the album, but it wasn't one that I really thought was going to be my favorite out of the whole concert. It was just seeing him perform it, he just seemed so genuinely happy and excited to show his fans his solo performance. It was so nice, and he just glowed while he was on stage. And, you know, that made me really happy. So I really enjoyed that. Also, when I tried to videotape Jin's high note in his song Awake, I don't know what was going on. I must have had an out-of-body experience. You can see my body literally just going like this.
He needs some milk.
So quick breakdown of the concert. I'm going to start with the good and then maybe the not so great. So the good, it was an amazing concert. The guys did an awesome job. I really wish we could have gotten closer seats, but the tickets just went out so fast that I just had to snag the first ones that we were able to get. So we were kind of far back there, but it was still really awesome just to see them perform. And each single one of their solo performances just had me shook because I've never seen them even online. I never looked them up. The only one I did look up was Jimin's live performance, but other than that, I haven't seen any of the other solo performances. So to see those for the first time live was completely amazing. And so now to the maybe not so great parts of the event. So there was one point at the end of one of their performance songs where Namjoon had to stop the fans in the front on the floor because I guess some of them were trying to push past the barricade separating the main stage from the gate. And he did it very calmly, very collectively. He just said, like, please don't push, please stay back, until the fans were able to collect themselves and push backwards. Which I can understand, people get excited, but still, like, we kind of need to know our boundaries on that aspect. And also, as we were leaving, everybody was kind of crowding around the VIP exit, which everybody kind of thought they were bound to come out of. And then one fan actually walked past me and screamed pretty much at the top of their lungs just some very uncomfortable things that I won't be repeating here. But I am going to put a little PSA right here, not just for the fan base of the ARMYs, but for pretty much any fandom. But please do remember, even though, yes, they are famous, they're handsome, they're talented, they are still people. They deserve our respect just like any other person and should not be subjected to such mistreatment, especially from their fans. But that's all I wanted to say about that, so let's get back to it. So on Saturday, when we were traveling to go to Chinatown, we actually came out of the World Trade Center transportation hub, which we didn't expect to do. That was pretty awesome to see the whole inside of that. And then as we were leaving the transportation hub, we actually stumbled upon the 9/11 memorial, which we didn't expect to visit, but I was happy that we stumbled upon it because I did want to pay my respects. But after that, we walked over to Chinatown where we got some food, and then we left. We had pretty good dim sum, and I'm sorry for anyone who likes Chinatown a lot, but it was just not my cup of tea. So we went back to Koreatown, had more taiyaki, and then we went back to that Korean bookstore, K-pop store, and surprisingly enough, didn't buy K-pop merchandise, but I actually ended up buying these two books, which is The Little Mermaid and Snow White, and they're children's stories in Korean, and I thought this would help me just kind of learn a little more Korean without feeling overwhelmed about reading an entire book. And so far, they've helped out a lot, so I would recommend these if you are trying to learn Korean, but are kind of afraid to buy an entire chapter book. But then, later on, I realized that we had not been to Times Square yet, and I kind of wanted to see this whole thing about, like, oh, why is Times Square, like, this big thing? Like, we need to go just to, like, at least see it and just say we've been there. You know, it was pretty cool. It was crowded. There were a lot of lights. A lot of freaking lights. You know, it was neato. It was pretty neato. We ended up going to Uniqlo, we went to the Disney store, we tried to go to the Hershey store, but the line was just too freaking long.
Oh my god, is this a line to get in there? No.
Never mind.
We'll go to the M&M store instead.
And so we were like, not to the M&M store, where we goofed off for a little bit, and then again, headed back to Koreatown, where I didn't mean to dab there. I'm so sorry. We ended up going back to Koreatown for some Korean barbecue and soju at the Korean restaurant Dokkumship, which was very tasty. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. We went back to the hotel and we both left on our separate flights in the morning, which was so sad. But all in all, it was an amazing experience, something that I've never done before or had the chance or opportunity to do. So I do want to thank BTS for coming to America and sharing their tour with us. I also want to thank my friend Kelsey for coming along on this trip with me. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did like it, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to know when I upload more videos. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at ErinNerdHerd. And I'll see you guys next time.